So good morning everyone, and welcome to Zion. And it is a fairly chill morning here, and it is my second day officially here in Zion. And I've arrived a little late for the fall color. That's okay though, because I'm still finding really interesting scenes all around, and I've yet to explore the higher elevations, and I've yet to go also to the eastern side of the park to explore for any fall color there. I'm really dedicating these first few days to just exploring the main canyon and these really beautiful woodland scenes that you can find along the Virgin River. This morning I was hiking around for just a little while. Came back to some locations that I location scouted yesterday. And funny enough, none of the locations that I saw yesterday and recorded on my phone to come back to have I really dedicated any time to this morning yet, but there's still time. So the light now is starting to peek through the canyon walls just right in front of me, and the scene that I was wanting to photograph is now well, the light's quite harsh. So just about 10 minutes ago I was able to photograph it before the light got too intense, and what I did was I used my Lee filter pouch here that protects my polarizer. I used it to basically cover my lens hood, and I was able to still capture the image. This is actually a composition that I scouted yesterday evening, and it's just the way that this tree and its trunks are just curving and slightly tilted as well. It's just really beautiful, and it's even more beautiful with the backlit leaves now. But I think just controlling the overall composition, if I were to photograph it now, would be just way too challenging and would require me to bracket quite a bit, and I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to stick to the image that I took about 10 minutes ago. And so the image was pretty straightforward, just f11 and focusing on the main tree trunk. Just a really beautiful scene that I, like I mentioned, that I came across yesterday evening, and by the time that I stumbled upon it, the light was just, really wasn't intense enough at that point. It was just about 45 minutes or so until sunset. So that's the thing about photographing inside these canyon walls is, there are parts of the canyon where you can really photograph all day, but there are also other parts where, there are peak times to do it. I do think, though, that here in this little section of the canyon there are still scenes to be photographed, so I don't think this is going to be my last image, but I'll go ahead and show it to you now, and I'm going to keep exploring around a little bit more. So after exploring around a little bit more, I went ahead and switched to the long lens, and I am just coming across a lot of potential compositions all the way at 200 mil. We're getting some beautiful backlit light here with all these trees out in the distance, and the leaves just really glowing with the reflective light that we're getting. It just looks really beautiful. And the first scene that I came across was just this group of trees, and yeah, just the vibrancy of this scene is quite beautiful. I'm all the way at 200 mil, and it's a square crop. And I think I'm gonna, maybe once I get back home and in the computer, I'm probably going to decide if a square crop is better than a 4x5, or maybe the 4x5 is better. But yeah, it's just incredibly stunning scenery just all around, with the conditions that we're getting right now, and the usefulness and just power of the 70 to 200 right now at full range is just absolutely incredible. I was just telling my friend Justin here that I'm photographing with, I was telling him that I don't know that I'll top this image in my entire time here. That's how much I really like this composition. So it's actually f7.1, and yeah, pretty much straightforward, no filters or anything like that. Go ahead and show you the image now, and hopefully it turns out as good as I'm saying it's going to be, or as much as I'm hyping it up to be, at least. So we'll see. Well, the light is definitely progressing and changing quite rapidly all throughout this scene here that I was photographing. And you know, once again, I'm just taking the 70 to 200 and exploring different angles and just looking for interesting shapes and patterns in these trees out in the distance with the canyon walls in the background. And I gotta tell you that in the process of doing that, there was just this one single backlit tree branch with its yellow leaves, and just the vibrancy of the sun hitting just that tree with everything else in the background quite dark just provided for a really beautiful contrast. So F9, and yeah, it was all let's see, it was just about 175 mil. And yeah, it was just all about that single tree and those leaves, and just the vibrancy of just the main subject with everything else quite dark surrounding it. I think it's quite possible this may be my my final image of this morning, but still plenty to come here from Zion, and I think I may just pack it up, and my friend Justin and I are going to start perhaps heading back to the car, or just maybe start figuring out what the next the next plan is going to be, if we're going to go explore the east side of the park or just continue here in the main canyon. Well guys, I hope you have enjoyed this first video here in Zion. Plenty more content to come on the way every Sunday, so I hope you tune in. And for those of you, oh, that was a bee. Okay, anyways. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, sorry. Okay. Alright, well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this first episode here in Zion National Park. Plenty more content to come, so I hope that you stay tuned. And if you're watching and returning to my channel, I greatly appreciate you tuning in once again. There's like a swarm of bees here, so I don't want to get stung by a bee as I say goodbye. But as I was saying, if you're watching for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it, and sharing it in any way with any friends you think they may like this content. Yeah, I'd greatly appreciate that as well. I'm gonna go track down my friend Justin, who I'm with here today, and yeah, we're gonna go back to the car, I think, and really decide whether we're gonna continue exploring the main canyon or go ahead and start exploring some of the eastern side of the park. So, like I said, plenty more content to come. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week, everyone. Take care.